Let's talk about that more now with terrorism expert Michael Leiter, former director of the government's Counterterrorism Center. And to pick up on what Alex was saying right there, this area, Kyrgyzstan, the Caucasus, hotbed of real jihadist, unrest for a generation for Putin.
Yeah, it really has. Both the Caucasus, which are about 2,000 miles to the west, and big Russian wars there, but also farther to the east in Kyrgyzstan. And we've had thousands of fighters, not only from Russia, but Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan, go earlier to Pakistan and Afghanistan, and more recently to Syria.
Yeah, and we've seen in the past that Putin has cracked down in Chechnya, in those republics. Some concern now that Putin and his government may use this as an opportunity to crack down on these broader protests they've been facing.
I think it's fair to say that Putin never faces this sort of adversary with a gentle glove. He hits this with a hammer, and I think it's very possible that he will expand that. He will go after the Caucasus. He will go after being a harder fight in Syria, and I think he could use it as an excuse for any suppression that he wants.
That's the fight in Russia, but there is generalized concern across Europe, particularly these threats against public transportation and subways.
That's right, and we had the bombing in Brussels in 2016. We had threats in New York subway in 2009. These are really susceptible targets. Lots of people in closed space, and the screening to get on there is vastly easier than something like an airplane in the U.S. or overseas.
And one of the things we're learning overnight, even though there's no claim of responsibility, this idea that there was a second bomb, perhaps in a fire extinguisher, this could have been far worse.
It could have been far worse, and officials overseas in the U.S. will learn from that. They will look at how this bomb was hidden, how the train operator responded, because it doesn't matter where it is, anyone could face this. And you have to understand how you can win this cat and mouse game of terrorism officials trying to defend against these sorts of innovative threats.
But we do know this train operator, by continuing to go on, saved some lives.
Absolutely, that was good, but who knows? If it had been a fire on board, it could have actually accelerated it. So these are all the sorts of issues that go into both the response and, again, trying to find it before it happens, whether it's in a fire extinguisher or, as we've seen over the past couple of weeks, laptops on planes.
Michael Leiter, thanks very much.